Hey, it's Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and I've been looking forward to bringing you guys this review. This is going to be Way of the Samurai 4 for the PlayStation 3, which was originally released in Japan in March of 2011, and it was ported over to North America a year and a half later in August of 2012. And I was in the process of playing through Way of the Samurai 3 when I decided to make the leap over to this new edition, and I can confirm it is light years ahead of its previous outing. While it still doesn't have much of a tutorial, it is much easier to get into and more user-friendly, providing an easy-to-understand storyboard that shows the branching storyline for your current and previous playthroughs. Even if you haven't played a previous Way of the Samurai title, this one's pretty easy to pick up and play, and after a couple hours you should be able to grasp exactly what this game's all about. The more official reviews have labeled the game subpar, but there is a lot to love about this title. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the review. There's really no good way around it. The graphics are holding this game and this series back. They look dated, and they definitely don't compete with more recent role-playing games such as Dragon's Dogma or even Kingdoms of Amalur that released last year. There is some noticeable screen tearing and occasional frame rate drops, which have been noted in every review that I checked out. The facial animations and the cutscenes are a bit lacking, and the lip syncing is like watching one of the old Godzilla movies. So if you're interested in this title, this is all stuff you're going to have to look past in order to enjoy the game. It does make up for these shortcomings in a few different ways, such as offering a bright and colorful world to travel around in, and there's a lot more detail placed in the game world itself compared to the Way of the Samurai 3. There is a lot more different types of locations and shops to visit on here, and finally it's much easier to travel around and learn the game world in this one. There's a fast travel option, and it has an interactive map overlay that you can easily pull up and follow at any time with just the press of a button. You initially start the game with a bare-bones character with very few customization options, but with every playthrough of the game your character evolves, becoming stronger and opening up clothing and character options. I initially started the game as a pretty cut-and-dry male samurai, wearing some sort of fruity clothing that looked like it was pulled from a shower curtain stolen from a very inexpensive motel. But by my fourth playthrough I had transformed into a female character that looks like she could compete in a Mortal Kombat tournament. And that's what makes this game great, the freedom to do whatever you feel like on here. You can hack up every person that walks across you in town, and in your next playthrough the game will evolve and add more police officers to more closely watch your actions. On the flip side, if you go the more traditional, respectful route, the shops and the vendors will offer more items at cheaper prices to you. Every action is also judged with your in-game stats, and it affects how many points you get with every clearing of the game, which in turn affects how many customization options you can buy and unlock for your character. In a speed run I beat the game in as little as 15 minutes, but on the flip side of that, if you go after one of the harder endings in this game, you will easily spend multiple hours or even days playing through the same playthrough as you work towards different types of story progression while going after the 10 different endings that the game has waiting for you. There's a lot of side quests that will also keep you busy, lots of weapons to collect, upgrade, or even build, and you have your own personal dojo that you can recruit members in town to join and help you along with your journey.
Hey! You talking to yourself again? Man, I worry about your sanity sometimes.
While paying attention to the story is not really going to be a requirement to enjoy this game, it is rather amusing for a few reasons. For starters, it's all very bizarre and a lot of it makes absolutely no sense. For example, one quest I had taken involved going to some rich guy's house and tricking him into letting a bunch of street bums run in his house and take a shower. I mean, you just can't make that stuff up. You're going to laugh if you pay attention to what's going on, unless you have a very odd sense of humor. Also, during some of the more serious cutscenes, you have an option to just whip out your sword while people are having a serious discussion and just start hacking them to pieces instead of hearing what they have to say. If you're the type of gamer that enjoys more intense, drama-filled, serious storylines and cutscenes, you may be a bit disappointed in this part of the game. But if you're willing to laugh with or even laugh at the game, you're going to have a blast. Unless you've played a previous Way of the Samurai title, you're in for a very different type of experience, which is always a good thing if you're tired of playing the same old crap that gets shoveled out onto the game shelves every month.
Blocker deflection right there. That's a good chance. Shoots that one up the wall.
Oh, hopefully
offensive
that
breakaway. Score!
Nice.
I couldn't do a review of this title without mentioning one of its best features. It took a page straight out of the Demon's Souls series and put a bit of a twist on it. While you're walking around town, if you're connected to the internet, your game can be randomly invaded by another player's online character. However, it is computer controlled, so it's not player controlled like in Demon's Souls, so you're not going to be doing any samurai showdowns with friends, but that's still a very cool feature. If you do manage to kill that player, you get their custom swords that they're currently using, which is no easy task if you're going up against a pretty beefed up weapon. This title also features a very authentic, more traditional Japanese style soundtrack. It has sort of an old school sound to it and fit very well with the theme of the game. As far as a recommendation on this one, I love this game. Outside of the graphics, it's freaking awesome, and I don't say that very often in my reviews. It's currently available in the PlayStation Store for $39.99 as of the date of this review, and I think that's a pretty good price for what you're getting with this one. It's not going to be for everyone, and it is a bit of a strange title, but if you want to play as a samurai, this is going to be the way to go. My personal favorite part of this game is the fact that it's simple, but yet it's deep enough to keep you wanting to play more. When you're first starting off, the combat is a bit of a button mashing and hack and slash affair, but once you drop some time into the game, learn the mechanics and unlock your own fighting style, complete with multiple different types of moves to use, it really opens up and feels like a completely different game altogether. It is one I would recommend, and I will be uploading another video for this one if you want to check it out a little bit more. This is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and thanks for stopping by.
Sa, いらして。受け止めて。